have a question to ask you. Remember the Mona Lisa? Arguably one of, if not the most famous paintings to still exist as it was painted 500 plus years ago. Now my question to you is, from memory, do you remember if the Mona Lisa had a smile on her face? Most people remembering the Mona Lisa would remember this portrait. If you were to look at the shape of her mouth in this picture, you would think that she has an expression that you would perceive to be a straight face or a resting face rather than a smile, to which I would say yes, you are correct. She isn't smiling in this portrait. We all share a memory in which we remember the Mona Lisa having this expression to be a straight face. But we as a species possess something we refer to as false memories. In reference to the Mandela effect, Wilma Bainbridge, an assistant professor in psychology and principal investigator at the University of Chicago, says, and I quote, "This effect is really fascinating because it reveals that there are these consistencies across people and false memories that they have for images that they have actually never seen." I recently experienced something when it comes down to false memories, but I would like to call it fake nostalgia. Recently, while browsing YouTube, I came across a video titled 1998-1227, which seemed to be a video of a bunch of Korean students from the past vlogging themselves in their daily lives. This video is 17 seconds long and it was uploaded by a YouTuber that goes by the name of Heeso. And these videos seemed like they were filmed a long time ago. The title of this video is supposedly the date in which these videos were filmed. This particular video had seemed to be filmed on the 27th of December 1998. This had given me some feeling of nostalgia for a life I never lived. Rather, a craving for memories that weren't mine. Could I have had this life granted I woke up one morning having chosen different choices to the ones I've made earlier? Possibly not. Have you ever wanted to exist in a world that was never meant for you? Looking into the lives of these people of the past left me with an empty feeling of fake nostalgia, and it gave me a bittersweet feeling. It's like looking into another dimension in which you were born in a different timeline. But after doing a deep dive into this channel, I had come to find out something really strange about it. When looking back at the Mona Lisa painting I showed you, except if you looked at this picture and thought it was the same one I showed you at the beginning of the video, then you're lying to yourself. When looking at the original painting of Mona Lisa, she was in fact smiling, but most people tend to remember her keeping a straight face. This image had been digitally altered to give that straight face expression you saw at the beginning of the video. It was fake, and the Heeso channel, the students in these videos are fake as well. She isn't real, rather promotional material for a K-pop group called New Jeans, and the concept of Heeso is that she is a character that exists only in the imagination of the members of New Jeans, and they brought these characters in the video to life in these videos that are up on the channel right now. The desire to exist in a different timeline to yours is what I call fake nostalgia. I personally don't believe these timelines have to be in the past. These timelines can be in the present or the future, fictional or reality. And the discovery of the Heeso project really did get my gears turning. I found that most people have the strongest feel for fake nostalgia when consuming vaporwave content or something else like Japanese city pop. Listening to this type of music really did leave you with the desire to exist in a time that wasn't meant for you. Can you recall a time when you heard vaporwave for the very first time? Or Stay With Me by Miki Matsubara? Stay with me. When you listen to those songs, it kind of makes you feel homesick for a place that you've never been to. Winston and Saywood, authors of the book Beats to Relax / Study to Contradiction and Paradox of Lo-Fi Hip Hop, once said, and I quote, "Not only is the nostalgic object acknowledged and cherished for its retrievability, but for the very fact that it was never experienced in the first place, to which I personally feel speaks volumes."
What a day. You look lonely. I can fix that.
The feeling of fake nostalgia leaves me with an empty feeling, but also makes me appreciate the artist a lot more for creating a world that leaves me with a desire to exist in such a place. But it's not just a feeling of desire, but the feeling of relatability. Have you ever seen one of those Silent Hill videos of the protagonist running in the dark as if he's lost or running for the sake of just running, and just relate to it? This is how it feels to run to a destination you don't even know. Not living life, but existing for the sake of existing. What's your life purpose? Honestly, I don't know. What are you gonna eat for dinner? I don't know. I just feel like the character from Silent Hill that keeps on running with no destination in sight. I personally perceive fake nostalgia to be some sort of an escape. You can choose to wake up and live the life you're currently living, or escape into a life of a different character in a different world from a different timeline, whether it be in a movie, a book, an anime, or video games. In the movie The Creator, the main character Joshua finds his wife in a coma after he thought she was dead. What made me connect with this scene so much was his reflection he has when thinking about his wife.
We both had our secrets, but we were gonna raise a child.
When he said this line,
That I am her, that she is me. We're all connected.
it made me reminisce. When thinking about it in reference to fake nostalgia and all the characters we've lived through, I feel that we are all connected. Joshua, the main character, has lived parts of his life through the feelings his wife has felt, existing in her world and seeing the world through her lens. He is her and she is him.
You can outlive her child. This war needs to end.
Hey,
Whenever we listen to Vaporwave, we feel what it's like to exist in that world through a fictional character that we create. When we watch movies or even videos on the internet, we are connected for that short moment in time, which we are those characters, and those characters in return are us, and it's the same between everything. And when reflecting on how fake nostalgia has affected me, my biggest influence is video games. They keep me from living in reality. Choosing to live another person's life instead of living your own is both a great form of escapism and a great way to avoid responsibility. At one point, fake nostalgia used to be the only way I could survive. I couldn't imagine things for myself anymore. I lost my creativity. I lost myself. The only way I could exist was in the timeline of the main character in a video game. It's only when I took a break from video games and started living my own life. Don't get me wrong, I consumed other bits of media to satisfy the need for fake nostalgia, but living in the real world, creating moments that I can look back on and have real nostalgia to go off on, was the way to go for me. Imagining a world in which I lived in the life of others in different timelines and not my own scared the hell out of me. I got back into gaming recently, but in a more healthier way, as a pastime and not as like a job. And I've been playing a game called Stellar Blade, which I've been really enjoying a whole lot. And there is this scene which stood out to me, which I can relate to the most.
Wow, what a view.
I wonder what it looked like before the war.
What do you think it looked like?
Well, probably upright buildings, well-manicured flora, and living people.
That's it? You have no imagination. Then again, I guess you've never been here before. Imagine bustling streets, crystal clean air, and people smiling everywhere you look.
Have you ever seen something like that before, Adam?
Yes, a long time ago.
And there was the chair that was behind us in which I sat down after the cutscene, and she said this.
I just wanted to imagine what you were telling me. It's hard to imagine. Let's go.
That touched a part of my brain I didn't know existed. Sometimes it's best to remember the reality of Mona Lisa's smile, and not the false memory of her resting face. But even as cliche as this sounds, the truth actually really sucks. There's a reason we escape from reality. According to Joey Miller, who wrote the article The Secret Behind Mona Lisa's Smile, she says that Mona Lisa and her husband lost a baby prior to the portrait being painted. Later on, her husband commissioned Leonardo da Vinci for a painting of his wife, Mona Lisa. Da Vinci wanted Mona to smile wider, but she refused. She did not want the joy she felt for her new baby to erase the pain she felt for losing the one prior. And as a result, she has the look of a woman who has realized a dream but still carries the lost dream inside her. Reality can sometimes suck, that's why we need the feeling of fake nostalgia to help suffice for that. In reference to Mona Lisa's smile, it doesn't really represent the feeling of fake nostalgia, but rather it represents the feeling of how reality can both be hopeful and really disappointing. And to think, this video you're watching right now all stemmed from a 17-second video. But I love when something so small can help me understand whatever I'm feeling and hopefully helps you as well. Granted, the video ended up making sense in a way. Cause expressing my thoughts is a skill I'm still trying to master, even if it means making up a concept such as fake nostalgia to explain why I feel the way I feel in regards to a random video on the internet, or a certain part of a video game, or even a scene from a movie. You get the idea. If you have ever felt the feeling of fake nostalgia, please, I implore you, share in the comments below. I would like to get an input from y'all as well. But for now, I'm rambling. It's time for me to let y'all go. As always, I appreciate y'all and hope you're having an amazing day. Take care of yourselves and peace.
I feel like I've been here before.